Happy Tuesday, everybody. Coming on a little bit late today, but you know how the dragons are. They don't like to be scheduled. And we have a great question this week. So let me introduce myself. My name is Araya Anra. Some call me Tana, which is my dragon name because I am here as a dragon and a guide to help those of you that are feeling the dragons show up around you, to work with them, to connect and understand why they're here, what they have for us. And for many of you, you are a dragon as well and need to wake up to that fact, or are ready to and need some assistance. So that's what I offer. I come every week to try and bring information or tools that will be helpful to you. So on that note, I just remembered I wanted to announce today I added another guided meditation, a very powerful one, to the guided meditations that are available on the site. So dragonwithin.com, go to the guided or dragon meditations tab, and you'll see a very colorful, let's call it an album cover, image that is for the new one. And it's essentially a dragon, a meditation with the crystal and white dragons. Interestingly, it came through when I was recording the new program. So the Entering the Dragon Realms online course, the new course that is designed for anybody ready to dive in that wants more work beyond the book, but can't make the book clubs, can't make the program times because you work midweek, same time zone as I am, or you just like to work at your own pace, you don't like group stuff so much. It's a great outlet. It's a great way for you to dive in. There's 4 separate modules to get you started and really on track with understanding the depths of how to work with the dragons, why they're here, what do you do with them, how to recognize them, that kind of thing. So in the end of that, for those of you that either have already done a program, feel really secure moving forward, or just want to experience a really powerful meditation for right now to get yourself moved forward, I extracted that because it was so powerful. And it's not a super long one, but as many of you know, the dragons are super efficient. They don't need a drawn out 30-minute, 40-minute meditation to work. And a lot of them I like to keep around 25-30 minutes. This one came in and it's 20 minutes in total, but it was so powerful. I was like, I need to bring this out for everybody, because what it does, the crystal and the white dragons offered a gift of going in and realigning certain pieces in your geometric signature that would then allow you to more easily connect to your future self and your higher self, and be able to see the path between where you are now and the future self out in front of you that is already at an expanded place, already merged with the light body, and how to get there, to lay out the next steps of your own awakening. So your own path of awakening that you've laid out for you, but haven't been able to connect with and see, that they literally brought in and said, this is a way, and let's take you into that. So I made it available for everybody. It's under that guided meditations or dragon meditations tab on the site. And hopefully some of you will take advantage, because it is, as I said, it's short and sweet, very powerful, and excited to have another one available for you guys. There's lots of tools in there. So thinking about that path laid out before us, and how do we get forward on that? How do we know that we're actually making progress? Leads me into our question for this week, which Pia brought in. She emailed me, which is what I want you guys to do. If you have a question that I haven't answered, or maybe you haven't seen it, and it's been a couple of years since I dealt with that topic in a live, you can either search it in the YouTube channel. So there's a whole Dragons playlist on the Invoke Healing International YouTube channel. And that, if you subscribe and you can't make these lives every week, you'll get them live, you'll get them as they're announced, right? If you're subscribing in the YouTube channel. But in that, if you don't see or can't find something that you have a question about, send me an instant message or send me an email and let me know, I'm really curious about this. Can you talk about this? Because that's what I do. I'm here to answer your questions. And I guarantee you, if you have a question, you're not the only one. That this is unfolding for a lot of people in that moment. There tends to be an energetic resonance through the collective that it's going to affect a lot of people. And so what I love about this question that Pia brought this week is it is so aligned with what we're in right now as a collective, moving into the solstice next, we're only a week away. We're the 7th day from now is the 21st. So that solstice coming up, you're going to feel the energy building all this week. So her question was, how do we know if we've cleared our karma? And there's so much within that, so many directions I can actually go with it. It seems like a straightforward, well, how do you know? But it's linked into the time we're in right now. Because what you may have not realized is with this conjunct, as we align into these new energies and move forward, there is a lot on offer right now. And we are literally entering the age of Aquarius. We are entering into that harmonic where it's going to be easier to connect with our future self, our higher self, the path out in front of us, which is why I'm saying take advantage of that opportunity with the crystal and the white dragons. But the karmic balance has to be at a 0 point as we move into that. So this question right now is so relevant because going into that, how do we know if we have any karmic debt still? How do we know if we've cleared it? That is very, very relevant to this 0 point doorway that we're being offered to go through to set up and step into a whole new cycle. So if you have not, so there's a couple different things here. How do you know you've cleared your karma? Let's start with very basics of, you will see your law of attraction change in your physical life. That there are events that keep coming. If you can look at your life and see patterns and you know what, I just recalled, I apologize, I'm going to take a second here because it just showed me that my connection is weak, but it's also showing me that I've not put my microphone in, and I promised that I would do that. I even made myself a big note. So hopefully, somebody give me a heads up if you can hear that better. I know Nicole's watching. Somebody give me a thumbs up or there if the sound just got better or you can very clearly hear me. Yes, thank you. I think that was my. All right, so we are thankfully remembering. Thank you for that, Spirit, for helping me remember. Now I'm tongue-tied, helping me remember the microphone. All right, so if we look at the past few years that continually come in that are bringing the same type of event, the same type of, whether it's rejection or interference or involvement with certain energies that like to intrude. There's always a pattern when your karma is not balanced, when you have something that's still consistently a pattern in your law of attraction showing up, then you haven't actually completed that. And it can be called clearing karma, or it can just be clearing that particular wound. Your law of attraction will immediately change when you go in and are able to feel it fully and release it. What's interesting about that is that would have been the pattern over the past 5, 10, 15 years of how we could go in and actually reach into those old woundings, those old traumas, trace back the emotional response to events around you, to understand how you're responding and why you're responding, and what's really underlying that emotional response. Is it really that the guy cut you off in traffic that upset you, or that this guy said that, or was it the underlying condescension or the underlying is emotionally actually how you're responding? And I've got another low connection. It's just the internet. When you have a response, you need to get underneath it and see what's the core. Where am I really responding? Because when you chase that core down, that's going to take you back to that same exact emotional response 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It depends how old you are, of course. And it might even take you back into previous lifetimes of understanding why it's still a pattern and why it's still showing up. One of the things that you will also see is sometimes these are patterns coming up when you have a memory. If you can ask to go in and see some of your past life stuff, you can actually go in and see where you have been on the other side of that, and now understanding, I have karmic balance to complete here. I need to feel the pain of what I inflicted in this other incarnation, and as I move through that, you can clear it a lot faster, either by letting yourself play out all the pain that you've caused others tenfold, right? That's how karma works. It's tenfold of the pain you've caused others. Or you can actually go in with a fully repentant heart, seeing not only the choices you made in the other lifetime, but seeing how it's playing out for you here, and actually go in and ask for forgiveness. That full repentance, both of the souls and individuals that you affected. You may or may not recognize them currently around you. They probably are. Or directly just going in with Mother, Father, God, and having that open-hearted repentance of unloving choices. So how do you know when it's complete? One, you're going to find that in your life, those patterns have stopped. Your law of attraction will change, and you will no longer, there might still be someone that cuts you off in traffic, but there's not going to be a response from you. It's going to not trigger that pain body in the same way. So the other piece that I wanted to bring in with now is an open doorway that is part of the energies of the solstice coming up, of this new doorway into the age of Aquarius, into the fifth dimensional harmonic and the new earth. That what's on offer right now is this huge ability to go through all of your past incarnational karma, that if you have any, to go into, many of you know what a Ho'oponopono ceremony is. That's that forgiveness and release. I forgive you. I thank you. I forgive you. I love you. I release you. Or I thank you. I love you. I forgive you. I release you. With a true sense in your heart space. Even if you don't know who the parties are. But moving into a space where you fully and clearly can release and go into a zero karmic debt with that aspect of not just forgiving others who might owe you a karmic debt, but allowing yourself to fully repent, even if you don't know what your karmic debts are, to ask to be shown, to ask to see them, and then with that knowing of, I want to be released, I want to make right and atone for and amend all the wrongs that I have done, and allow me to do that through this heart space. Allow me to feel, and you might feel in a rush of pain what you have inflicted on others, but also through what is grace and mercy. That is the energy coming in of that true grace and mercy of forgiveness, when we allow our heart to open and crack to that amount, to know and acknowledge how much wrong we may have done, and that we really want to make it right. So part of that is the cycle we're in right now. And I feel like this question from Pia even came up because that is so on the table right now for us to recognize. Why? Going through the doorway into the new earth, when you are ready for your merge into your light body, when you are ready to actually expand into full fifth dimensional living and being in that space merged with your light body, this is where we're headed, right? When you are truly ready for that, you're going to open into what I'm calling like a 0 point doorway. That the doorway before you is going to be a forced 0 point where you cannot go through, you cannot pass into it if you are carrying any of that forward. So you have to sit in a place of allowing your heart to open and expand to such a degree that you invite and allow with your intention to get to that 0 point field, to get to that place where your karmic debts, any owed to you and any you owe, fully released. We always want to focus on, are my karmic debts cleared, because we want to be released from what we owe, right? But sometimes the harder part is recognizing how many are owed us, and are we willing to release those debts? Are we willing to just forgive those and say, you know what? You caused me a great deal of pain in this other lifetime, and you're suffering from it right now. And where most people sit is, I want you to suffer. I want you to stay in that. I'm going to let you do that. I can see who you are. I remember it now, and I'm going to let you stew in your pain. That doesn't get us to a 0 point. Whatever level of pain, and it can be a lot of pain, whether it's in this lifetime as a child, or as an adult even, but carrying forward things from past lifetimes where we're now on the other end of that, where we received a lot of pain in that other space, and now we're on the other end where things are balancing, and we can see that I'm feeling good about that balance, and I can feel where I'm at now. But if we're not willing to say, you know what, I'm going to let that be. I'm going to let this be balanced out. On the record books, you don't owe me anything. You don't owe the universe anything. Your debt is paid. I forgive you. I release you. And you can feel the energy of that. I feel like there's a download coming in right now with that for each of us to open our hearts into allowing that release and that energy incoming and flowing through of what mercy and grace is that has been shown to us, and that we then show to others. How does that build our community? Everything moving forward is a communal harmonic. I don't know if everybody understands that yet. The new earth isn't just about happiness, grace, bliss for us individually. It's a communal harmonic. The whole network grounding foundation of it is a crystalline framework that looks much like snowflakes. That it's not grounding cords anymore of individual, here's my grounding cord, I'm grounding into the earth, I'm solid, I'm here, I'm present. The new template holds a golden framework, but the foundation for grounding in is that you step into a crystalline network that looks like tree roots or snowflakes, and it's all crystalline. What does crystalline do? It's a communicator. It translates your information and energy, and it receives information and energy. So everyone is putting all of themselves into that. It creates a full network. That means transparency, vulnerability, community. That if you are unwilling to step into that, you're not going to pass through the doorway. You have to be ready with that open heart of, yeah, I'm in and I'm here for the greater good. I'm here for everybody's good. Because we're a community now moving forward. This is how harmony can actually be created, because there's a lot of strife on the planet right now, and there's a lot of minds that question, how can we move into a harmonic universe? How can we move into a new earth or a space that's in harmony when there's so much infighting, there's so much lack of transparency, there's so much greed, or those will be divided. The timelines will be shifting. We are getting to that choice point where there will be those that want to move into a communal harmonic and are ready to make the sacrifices or step forward into that. And there'll be those that don't, and they will continue forward into whatever they want to create. But if you're moving into the 0 point, you have to get to that space where in your own heart you are ready and willing to be transparent, to be in communal harmonic, and step in, because as soon as you step into it, you're going to feel yourself grounded and anchor in where nothing can be hidden. Where literally you're sharing all your information energetically into the whole grounding template. That is the only reason and basis that truly, what do they say, 1,000 years peace? True harmony, no wars, peace can actually be entered into. So getting to that of understanding karma clearing, you'll know by recognizing what is still repeating itself in your life, what's still coming in that's challenging you emotionally, that you're responding and reacting to. And when there's no more law of attraction, all your karma is cleared, but you don't have to wait and see and recognize anymore each situation and dive into where the pain body or the pain point is in the body to release it. You can literally go through and allow yourself to both forgive and repent and reach that 0 point balance. So hopefully that's making a lot of sense. I know that some of you are probably going, how does this relate to the dragons? Well, when we're on this journey, all of this, the dragons have been here to bring us to this point. They have been here to help expedite. So what does that expediting do? That 0 point, that whole Ho'oponopono, that is part of the expedition. That is part of doing it very quickly right now, because we're in the time frame, we're in the zone, we're in this like cyclical closing out, and we have an opportunity right now that is being held literally by the dragons. I don't know if you've noticed a lot more presence of them. Many of them, as I have said over the months, have been passing their batons, and as they pass those batons, what are they doing? It releases them. Their new guard for the 5th dimensional framework is taking over. The dragons are now here in full support to help as many humans as possible ingest, incarnate, embody those higher frequency energies that allow even the awareness of where you're not forgiving, repenting, of where you're not allowing yourself to go into that place of true open-hearted transparency. The dragons are here to help you do that. And that's why on all of the meditations that I have up on the site, and why I mentioned the one earlier, they're here to expedite it for you. If you're not sure, go into a meditation with one of the dragons and ask. I guarantee you, perspective comes from the air dragon lineage. If you go in and get answers about your karma, and very likely you could probably get it through that white and crystal dragon meditation. The white dragon is part of that air lineage. That if you go in and invite the knowing to be shown, do I have any karma left to clear? Can you help me do that? I guarantee you the dragons are going to be there, boom, to help you do that. Because we have literally, we're set a doorway of opportunity. Does it mean it's the only moment that you can go through? Absolutely not. But it's starting. We're at the precipice. We're at that gateway. anybody that's at that 0 point field will be able to move through and start receiving those higher levels of their energy body, their light body, and those higher frequencies of energy. And I will say that now that we're so close to it, I finally started receiving a lot more information, higher and Andaran dragon connections, that now that we're getting into higher and higher frequencies, we are able to receive from higher and higher frequency bands, which means there's a lot more coming, a lot more information coming. Do we ever reach an endpoint? We reach plateaus. We reach stages of evolution. And we're at a big doorway and a big plateau, but it's a never-ending journey to new opportunities of learning on a soul level. That's the 0 point we're at now. You might have noticed that, everything's coming to a head. If I release all my karmic debt, what does that do with all my past life stuff? You don't need to carry it forward anymore. Right now, everything's being coded into your Akash and allowing you to go through free and clear, brand new cycle. Do I want to stay on Earth? Do I want to go back into other playgrounds? What does my soul really want to do? It's all coming to a head right now. So really excited. I do want to mention for the 21st, if you haven't seen it, I will be posting it again this week, definitely on the 20th. The link is in there in a couple of places already. I will be doing a live meditation with the dragons in alignment with the Uluru Aboriginal 21st on this solstice. The energies are going to be profound, and we have a specific intention to bring in, both for Gaia and all of humanity, but specifically for Gaia, for her evolution and full awakening into her fifth dimensional body, that this ceremony is about unlocking a bunch of things on a collective from wherever we are in the world is potent. And I was shown that there's a piece with the dragons. I was originally supposed to be there, still had my plane tickets, but can't do it without a 2-week quarantine and a whole big hassle, and was shown just, it's going to be done from here. It's the Aboriginals that are meant to do it. We join in from here, and the dragons will be playing a part, so we will be doing our piece in conjunction with the dragons. I will be starting it. It is going to be a Zoom call, so the post will have a Zoom link to join in. It's free. There's no charge to join in with this, so feel free to share it with as many beings as you think might want to join in with the dragons on a meditation. And I'm going to start at about 3:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Why? Why do I want to get up at 3 in the morning and lead a worldwide global meditation with the dragons? Because the ceremony in Uluru is at 9:04 p.m. their time on the 21st. We are aligning live time with them. We don't have to. We can always work. It's energy, so we can work outside of time. But I felt the real impetus to work live time with them, so live wherever you are in the world, which means 3:15 a.m. 3:34 a.m. specifically is alignment with them. 3:15 a.m. I'm going to start the call so that we can talk about some things before we actually go into meditation, so that we're in the depths of the meditation and alignment as that 3:34 hits, which I love that it's right after 3:33, which is a power number for many of us. The 3:33 is the completion number of 9, but it's also everything, all the threes are part of the previous geometric energetics. That as we move into the new, it's all about 4s and 8s and 12s in a different configuration. We are moving into different configurations. You'll feel that starting to move through your body. And we'll probably be on call until about 4 a.m. So whatever that's for Pacific Standard Time. So align that to what that is for you. That's going to be 6:15 a.m. to 7 a.m. East Coast. That's going to be, let's see, for Portugal would be 11:15 a.m. to noon. For the rest of Europe and the UK, Portugal and London. For the rest of the European group, typically it's 9 hours, so going at 12:34 p.m., so 12:15 p.m. to 1 p.m., an hour later than that, so 1:15 p.m. to 2 o'clock in South Africa. And I apologize, I don't have Australia off the top of my head, but typically it's a day later. And, well, they know. Uluru, 9:04 p.m. All right, so with that said, that's going to be a big, big opening. You're going to feel the energies building this week towards that, and I hope you'll join, watch for that post. And as we get close to the holiday, if you haven't gotten your dragons yet, I did want to share these little guys, because these guys are also tied into that. It's so interesting. These are ornaments, but I actually have them on my desk, these little baby dragons. I'm going to hold them up because part of the karma, part of what we discussed, is held and closing into our Akashic records, that we're sealing up our Akashic records, drawing it all in so we don't have any baggage and can just let the Akashic records hold all of our experience now. We don't have to hold it in our bodies anymore. I love these guys because they're each holding their own, it's like a pearl, right? Dragons carry their Akashic records in their pearls. This is why dragons carry pearls. They carry their Akashic records for them wherever they go, so they are encoded within that sacred space. And Gaia actually has her own pearl. There's been a lot of dragon work done with that in the last year, even including in the last activation there was another part. And I guess I should mention a bit about that. The activation was very powerful and was a dynamic move of her pearl, her Akashic records, through that 0 point gateway. So Gaia has actually, there was a fire pit created with the dragons that ignited something above her pearl, and there was a phoenix birthed out of that fire pit that then picked up, this was so beautiful to watch, picked up and carried her pearl out into the new dimensional space, into the new framework. So that has moved forward. So Gaia's already in that space. It's all aligned with the energies of this solstice. And just bringing that. So if, as I was saying, there's a lot happening. If you have not gotten any of these little guys, and we've got all the ornaments, you know, they don't necessarily have to be for your tree. Most of them I hang actually around my house, like this guy with his beautiful sword of truth, Godric there. They're all around my house throughout the year because they hold a lot of special energy. And these guys felt like they combined with these little baby dragons, that this little guy really fit if you prefer stuffies. And I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but these guys energetically carry. So if you're needing any specific dragon energy around you, those, the Dragonite, the dragon pendants, everything that goes out from my storefront, we call it the lair, actually has a transmission embedded in it just for you, or if it's a gift for someone, for that person, that is helping align the energies in your field. So like having this guy around you, having the ornaments or the pendant on you, that those energies are helping you align into the energies of your expansion. That's the intention of the transmission, that it aligns into your higher self and that energy of what you need around you to get you to break free from any tethers or things that you have that have been holding you back or slowing your progress. So I'm really excited that they're all, and many of them are going quickly, but if you've been wanting them, don't delay, because I can't promise shipping before, if you celebrate Christmas. I know Hanukkah's started, but any of the traditional holidays, I can't guarantee the post office will align to have it there in time if it's not done sooner than later. All right, so I will look forward to seeing you all next week, which will be after our solstice gathering. So hoping to see many of you on the solstice Zoom call. I will have everybody muted coming in, so I'll just be the one talking, but you'll be able to wave and see other people from all over the globe. Very excited about it, and just feeling the build up to that. Just hard to believe that we're finally here. We're on the precipice. We've been waiting for this alignment for a long time. We've been waiting for a lot of what's unfolding in the Earth game for a long time, and I want you to just let yourself surrender into it, because this is a huge time. Open your hearts. Allow that Ho'oponopono 0 point to be reached, where you consciously choose to clear all of your karma, if you indeed know and can recognize or be shown, what have I not cleared? What do I need to do ceremony with to be free and release it and let go? The dragons are absolutely here to help you do that. Awesome. Carol took the day off so she could participate. Fantastic. You only need an hour, so if you don't need to hold the whole day, make your lunch hour align to it, or whatever needs to happen. But really excited that you did that, Carol. We will see you then. Everybody have a great week up to that point. Tune into the energies. Take advantage of them, because it is definitely starting to build. All right. Have a great one, everybody. I love you guys. Bye.